Chapter 3. The hormonal hijacker's life begins at 40. After the embarrassing incident during the meeting, Susan knew she had to get a handle on her unpredictable hot flushes and mood swings. She'd read about mindfulness and stress management techniques, so she decided to give them a try. Armed with self-help books and an arsenal of relaxation techniques, Susan was determined to regain control of her life. One evening, as she sat cross-legged on her living room floor, attempting a guided meditation session, her husband, Dave, walked in. He paused, watching Susan's serene expression, which was a stark contrast to the emotional rollercoaster he'd been experiencing. "Is this one of those mood swing-stopping tricks, Susan?" Dave asked skeptically. Susan opened one eye and replied, "Yes, Dave. It's called meditation. It helps me stay calm and centered." Dave raised an eyebrow. "Well, it couldn't hurt, I guess." He joined Susan on the floor, and they both closed their eyes. For a few blissful moments, the room was filled with peaceful silence. Then, Susan's phone chimed with a new email notification. Ignoring it, she tried to focus on her breathing. But curiosity got the better of her, and she reached for her phone. It was an email from her boss, Mr. Henderson, with the subject line, "Urgent meeting tomorrow." Susan's heart raced as she opened it, dreading the possibility of another high-stakes meeting. But to her surprise, the email was short and baffling. It read, "Whiskers, I think it's time we had a serious conversation. Your recent behavior at the office is unacceptable. We need to discuss your excessive napping and the catnip incident in the break room." Susan blinked at the email in disbelief. What on earth was Mr. Henderson talking about? Then, it hit her. She had accidentally sent her boss an email meant for her cat, Whiskers, instead of her meditation app feedback. She had been leaving playful messages for her feline friend, praising his napping skills and apologizing for the catnip spill. Panicking, Susan rushed to her computer to send a follow-up email, explaining the mix-up. But before she could hit send, her phone rang. It was Mr. Henderson. "Whiskers, I've had enough of your feline shenanigans," he said sternly. Susan stammered, "Mr. Henderson, it's Susan, not Whiskers." There was a pause, followed by a burst of laughter from her boss. "Susan, my apologies. I must have clicked the wrong contact. Let's forget this ever happened, shall we?" Relieved and mortified at the same time, Susan agreed, and the call ended. She turned to Dave, who was trying to suppress his laughter. "Maybe meditation isn't the answer, after all," Susan mumbled, realizing that her hormonal hijinks were far from over.